Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, Deontay Wilder, pretty much, he's claimed many times throughout his career that he will not fight Luis Ortiz under any circumstances because of his past with steroids. You know, he tested positive for anabolic steroids years and years ago. But to my knowledge, since last year, he's been enrolled in Vada testing and the clean boxing program. So basically, Luis Ortiz came out recently and he stated, because Wilder again, restated his point about why he won't fight Ortiz because he's a cheater and all this stuff. And Luis Ortiz actually came out and he responded. So here is what Ortiz said, word for word. He said, I quote, "Let him know that I signed up for the WBC and Vada clean boxing program last September. Stop using that excuse to avoid fighting me. He's scared. The more he can use my failed test against me, he will. He and promoter Lou DiBella are saying they won't fight me because of that. That was years ago, and since that unfortunate incident for which I was punished, I have tested a dozen times clean. Now he's trying to say I haven't signed up for the Vada clean boxing. Guess what, Wilder? I signed up last September when I was notified that all WBC contenders needed to be part of their new clean boxing program. I filled out the paperwork and my trainer submitted it to the WBC. He can stop using that excuse to avoid me. I have nothing to hide and do not have to prove any longer to anyone that I am clean. Wilder is nothing but a paper champion who happened to be at the right place at the right time against the right opponent with most importantly the right promoter. That's all he is." Let's see, did he say anything else? And yeah, he actually does. He continues going on by saying, is this him? Nah, that's all he said. But yeah, I gotta agree with a lot of what Luis Ortiz says. Like, I've had a lot of criticism of Wilder, and I do think, despite my criticism, I do think he actually is getting better because he's had a lot of time to work on a lot of his weaknesses. But there's still a lot of weaknesses there to be exploited, and a guy like Luis Ortiz with his amateur experience, with his power, with his size, it would take away and offset a lot of the advantages that Wilder's used to having. So I get it. I've always been of the mindset that Wilder was a paper champion. I've always been of the mindset that Wilder still is largely improving against the top guys in the division, and Ortiz isn't sent his paperwork in a year ago, or that's what he says. And I know a couple of days ago, the WBC for whatever reason had him on the list of guys who didn't apply for the clean boxing program. So I don't know what happened or what was the deal with that, but those things are tricky. You really don't know what goes on. It's their WBC's responsibility to hand that over to Vada. So I don't know if he's still pending. In fact, let me see. Go to these WBC rankings real quick while I'm sitting here talking about it. But yeah, that's a fight Wilder would not want to take, because we know that Ortiz's boxing skills, his slickness, his power, his experience, his just his whole skill set would be way too much for Wilder at this point in his career. Wilder would have no more than a puncher's chance at best against King Kong, and he knows it. I know it. Anybody who knows boxing knows it. I'm trying to find these heavyweight rankings. Let's see, heavyweight rankings. We got. Okay, so it actually says here on the WBC official website that Luis Ortiz has actually sent in his paperwork to the clean boxing program and the WBC. It says it's pending. Now, I don't know how long that takes, but he's pending right now. He's supposed to be enrolled in Vada. Also, DyMiller, whose name was also on that list, he's also pending as well. So these guys have sent the paperwork in. Now it's just a matter of it processing, or I don't know how that works, but it says on the website that they're pending. So if he's enrolled, like Wilder said in his Boxing Voice interview the other day, it's time. You got to get past Gerald Washington first. That's not a gimme. He should beat Washington. I feel, although it's a good fight, that Wilder is going to beat Gerald Washington because of the foot speed, and I would say Gerald Washington doesn't really know how to move. So that would be Wilder's biggest asset. But Gerald Washington can jab and has that size to take away a lot of the advantages Wilder's used to having. So it's going to be a tough fight, but Wilder should win that fight. So if he does what he's supposed to do on the 25th, it's time for him to step up. We've been asking for him to step up for a while. He said that if Miller or Ortiz ever get into the clean boxing program, that he will fight them. It's on record. It's on the Boxing Voice. You can go watch it right now. Ness is over there in Alabama doing interviews there right now with Wilder and his whole camp. And the WBC website says itself that there's a little star and it says CBP/P with Jarrell Miller's name next to it and Ortiz's name next to it. So that means they're both pending, and we should hear no more excuses from Wilder about drug their history or what he assumes is going on with them. Sign the contract, make the fights happen. Should you get past Gerald Washington? But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Luis Ortiz is being avoided by Deontay Wilder, and do you guys see the Wilder as a product of like being the right opponent at the right time with the right promoter against Bermane Stiverne? I kind of feel that way too. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments. Any of Luis Ortiz's quotes, I'll leave the article for you guys down below, so you can take the time to subscribe and all that good stuff. And then you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.